I'm happy to announce that my co-chair is here, so she's now taking care of the next speaker. Irina Stepanovic, please.
Okay, so the first or morning session is actually presenting the works which are done within the cost TU 1406. And the first paper is going to be presented by Professor Alfred Strauss from University of Vienna or University of Natural Resources and Life Sciences. And these are the main results from Working Group 1. So Working Group 1 was dedicated to performance indicators, and then you will see later on the results or the ongoing work from Working Groups 2 and 3. Alfred.
Thank you very much, Irene. So I welcome you to this presentation about the main outcomes of the Working Group 1, in particular with the cost action 1406. So the title already announced performance indicators of road bridges, an overview of the findings of the future progress. So first of all, I will give you first the overview about the project 1406, and then I will show you in which way we proceed in this Working Group 1 and what are the status, findings of Working Group 1, and then finally how is the next what the next actions there. So, what are the main objectives of this cost action? The development of a guideline for the establishment of quality control plans in road bridges, as you know. Most of you already heard about it or has more details about it. And the target is that we find somewhere a system for this quality control plan on a European level. And to incorporate not only the existing performance indicators, but also to have a look to more new indicators like environmental related indicators, sustainability indicators, and so on. So the structure of the project is structured in 5 work packages. So the work package 1 mainly focused on the performance indicators. We distinguished here the performance indicators that are already used in practice. So we were searching, or we were getting in contact with people from the infrastructure operators in order to find out which are the dominant indicators, or what is the understanding about the indicators from their side. And then also in this Working Group 1, we also addressed the research indicators. So then you can see here the Working Group 2 now. This is where the leader is Irina. They are focusing on the goals, thresholds, so in particular how we assign their thresholds, goals, if they are already assigned to this performance indicators or not. And then the Working Group 3, this is then focusing on the quality control plans. So you can see the 1, 2 and 3 working groups, they are somehow interacting, and we also detected in our first meetings that we cannot work without together, but we find some system in order to process it in a very nice way. And then now in Working Group 4, I think this group is now starting. We have the implementation in case studies, and then the Working Group 5 is then, so this is the outer frame here. This is then the drafting of guidelines and recommendations. So we started about 1.5 years ago. We started in 2 ways. The first way, as you can see here on the left side, really make directly survey on documents where indicators are somehow already described, mentioned. And then the second survey phase, this is this picture here, we started in a more systematic way. We nominated from the management committee members people they are directly get in contact with the infrastructure operators, and they asked them particularly that they provide us the different documents, inspection documents, relation documents, background documents, and these documents should be uploaded, and then we started with the screening process. So the screening process, the people were asked to go through all the documents, indicate what they understand under the performance indicators, and we developed also a template to have some systematic system behind you. So then in a core group here, we were just taking this information of these persons who processed the screening, and we just organized, harmonized it, characterized the findings of this group here, which were doing the processes, and now we are here on this level, or we ended up here in this level where we just made an analysis. We get these documents up to from about 28 countries, so almost from all European countries we have these documents now, and they of course have a huge variety from different understanding, based on different understanding of indicators and of course other aspects. So these were just the operating part. Then in addition, so you can see we start here in Geneva, and on the second level we started also with research indicators. So this was more related to the research community. We also ask in each country well-known researchers to give us their information about or to provide us their documents in order to also collect them and then evaluate it. So here you can see a little bit the systematic, how we process the documents. The countries provide us the documents. We made a structure. This was almost very simple at the beginning on an Excel basis where we distinguished into different levels: system, component, materials, also the damages, then the performance indicator and index, and then here already the parts of threshold goals. We also developed in this process a glossary. The glossary supports the screening person here by going through the documents, and then we ask also to upload additional files here. So this was more or less the basis. So in addition, during the workshops we defined of course then what is the understanding of indicators, measurable, quantifiable, must be possible to assign a target measure and ranking. So with these definitions we somehow tried to a little bit channel this understanding of indicators, and they of course could be in different regions, as you can see here, from load side to the resistance side. So what we have at the moment, we have documents. As you can see here, this is the overview of the table. We have of each country such tables here with the different levels, on the material level, system level, network level, with the different performance characteristics. From some we have also thresholds and goals mentioned, but they of course are more or less in different details. This, for instance, is from Croatia, where we get very good details information. And we have also the documents, or we have information about the documents of the research, from the research portion. So then we also focused a little bit in this part here, where we said, okay, the indicators can, for instance, when we move through from a component level, or from component level to the system level to network level, the indicators, for instance, on one level could be performance indicators, it could become in the next level performance goal, it could become then also key performance indicators. So in this phase of the discussion, we face that we have to distinguish between different levels. So there are levels, pavement engineering, they distinguish between low performance indicators, they are more treated or that are more used by the inspectors, and then also the key performance indicators, they are really on a decision basis like mobility, serviceability, cost and so on. So also that one here was a very important process in this working group 1 to systemize it, also the different technical indicators, socio-economic indicators, and then also to face this possible change from indicators to performance goals, and also from the key performance indicators the relation to the performance indicators at the low level. So all this up to here is in a report already just wrapped together. That is available already on the web page on the TU 1406 here. So you will find on the report the description of the process, also all these details, what we worked out during this 1 year, and then also in the pen driver there are all these databases available. So the first what we get from the screening person, but also then the unorganized one and the reduced one. And more or less it gives also an overview Okay, we have the documents, we have the different research documents, we have the glossary on the span drivers, and also then the operating screening results. So these are the main elements you will find on this document. So the next step that we perform now, since up to here we were not able now to make a very straightforward analysis between the countries. So we are now in the process to build up access database, and we now analyzing on the access database. This is just the structure of this access database. Now we can now analyze different characteristics between different countries and so on. So this is our current step here, and also with respect to the research data. Then up to these documents we faced, that we have, when we really take all this information from all these documents and from the database that we have, we could detect that there are up to 300 indicators. So we have now to find some way to reduce it, to make it feasible for practice. And also the first step was then, as I mentioned before, that we have to jump or bring this somehow in relation between the low level of performance indicators to the key performance indicators. And then we had come up with some definitions, like we have to distinguish between the levels, must be measurable, and then it belongs to one of these key performance characteristic, maintainability and availability. So that was just a next important step now with respect to this reducing process. And to these key performance indicators or performance indicators, there must be also a threshold or a goal or rating must be assignable. So here you can see then after next step, where we then here gathered all together these performance indicators that we get from the countries, and we distinguished here in the horizontal line in these key performance indicators, and the core group, the small core group, now tried based on these definitions of the indicator measurable, as you can see here, quantifiable, target value should be assignable to that. We just extract from that one a reduced list or assign it to the K performance here. And in the K performance we distinguish between reliability, safety, serviceability and so on. And here you can see one of the examples that under each of these K performance indicators we gathered the indicators, and this is the next step where we know, okay, we have now to relate the rating, the weighting to that in order to get an overall assessment possibility, like here, like this spider. And this spider is discussed already with the working group 2, working group 3. So the idea is now in particular to distinguish this or to use such a spider for the assessment, and then it could be a basis for the quality control plan. There are still discussions, of course, and we have this also in access data. And then I'm now moving already based on the findings now, the spider key performance indicators. Now there is the working group 2 and 3. They're already set up in framework. Like here, this is from Professor Halim. So where we find us here in this performance indicator basis, key performance indicator, and how, and of course these are our findings here, and he set up this framework in order to use it perhaps for such inspection programs, and also then to assign this in a more homogenized way. So this is an overview what is done, or what has been done in the working group 1. We are analyzing also now, based on the access database, now between the countries, the indicators, key performance indicators. And yes, this is our status. I hope I could give you an overview about our work. And the questions are welcome. Thank you very much.